Ladies and gentlemen, before there was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson lighting up the silver screen, before John Cena dropped the mic and picked up the Peacemaker helmet, there was Hulk Hogan. Not just a wrestler. Not just a star. A force. A phenomenon. A titan who turned the squared circle into a global stage. Terry Bollea, the man behind the myth, the legend known as Hulk Hogan, was the first to bridge the gap between body slams and box office. He wasn't the most polished actor. He wasn't trained in film school or drama workshops. But what he lacked in technique, he more than made up for with presence. Raw, electric, magnetic presence. It was the 1980s, and the wrestling world was a patchwork of regional territories. Vince McMahon Jr. had a dream. A vision. To take the wrestling business national. To turn his father's WWF into something more, into the World Wrestling Federation. Into WWE as we know it today. But a vision needs a vehicle. A rocket ship. A superstar. And standing 6'7" with 24-inch pythons, blonde mustache, and the charisma of 10 men, that vehicle was Hulk Hogan. He wasn't just in wrestling, he was wrestling. And when he told us to say our prayers, take our vitamins, and believe in ourselves, we listened. Because that was Hulkamania. That was faith. That was childhood in the 80s. But even as he dominated the ring, something else was calling. Something bigger. Hollywood. It started small, a role in Rocky III's Thunderlips, a gladiator in a glittery robe. And suddenly, America's kids were watching Stallone square off with a wrestling god. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't Oscar-worthy. But it was unforgettable. McMahon feared losing him. Feared that once Hogan went west, he wouldn't come back. So he anchored him to the ring. But you can't chain ambition. You can't cage charisma. So Hogan left again, this time for no holds barred. It was the WWF's first foray into film. McMahon joined him as executive producer. It was bold. It was messy. It was Hogan. And then came Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, films that didn't work on paper, didn't land in theaters, but became something else, precedents. They showed that a wrestler didn't have to be confined to turnbuckles. That mic skills could become monologues. That ring psychology could turn into screen presence. Sure, Hogan wasn't winning Oscars. He wasn't leading blockbusters. But he was first. And first matters. When the movie dreams didn't pan out, he went back to what he knew best. But not to WWE. Not to Vince. He joined WCW. And in one of the most shocking turns in wrestling history, he turned heel. The ultimate good guy became Hollywood Hogan. He reinvented himself, and with Hall and Nash, formed the NWO. Black and white. Spray paint and swagger. They didn't just feud with WWF, they defeated them for 83 straight weeks in the ratings. Let that sink in. The man who built WWE from the ground up became the one who almost tore it down. But even as Hogan reinvented himself in the ring, his Hollywood hopes never truly reignited. There were cameos, straight-to-video releases, a reality show, a few moments, but never that one defining role. He wasn't The Rock. He wasn't Cena. He wasn't Batista. But make no mistake, they don't exist without him. Hogan was the first domino. He proved that a wrestler could be more than just a fighter. He cracked the door open. The Rock kicked it down. Cena walked through with a salute. Batista bulldozed it with rage. The truth is, in wrestling, the body gets you noticed, but the voice gets you remembered. And in that golden age, no one talked like Hogan. No one connected like Hogan. He was part wrestler, part preacher, part superhero. When he grabbed a mic, arenas trembled. When he pointed to the crowd, millions responded. That's what Hollywood saw. That's what casting directors felt. That's the blueprint every WWE star turned actor has followed since. Now, he's gone. At 71, the man who told us to believe in the power of Hulkamania has left the ring for the final time. But his impact, his shadow, his legacy, it's eternal. Because every time The Rock raises an eyebrow, every time Cena salutes before a fight, every time Batista growls on the big screen, they carry a piece of Hogan with them. He wasn't perfect, he wasn't polished, but he was first, and in the world of icons, first is forever. Rest in power, Hulk Hogan. Wrestling's first Hollywood dreamer, the real American, the ultimate male, the man who showed the world that sports entertainment could become just entertainment.